My first teacher, my mentor, and my friend. Reverend Tress Phillips is going to talk to us about the sacred journey.
Thank you.
Okay, hug.
I gotta get the dessert before I. Well, good morning, everyone. I'll tell you a secret. It's 2026. And who's going to just show the world in 2026? One step at a time. We have a whole year here ahead of us, but it's one day at a time. We alone decide what journey we're going to take. There's going to be all these people giving us all these things, you know, the wonderful, you're supposed to weigh blankety blank. You're supposed to earn so much, blankety blank. You're supposed to na 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 na. Well, you know what? We each have two hands, right? We each have two ears, right? There you go. We do not need to listen to all the advice of others because within us we have that wisdom. Within us we know what we want to do. It might be just a little inkling, but we feel it, we know it, and we live it. How about choosing life? Our life. How about choosing joy? How about choosing bravery? We all know. I read a bit by Eckhart Tolle, and it said, the ego says, I will find happiness in the future. But the present moment is all you have. And that's so true right here, right now. And if you don't think that's true, we all have had an event in our life that has changed it forever. And that event took only a second or a minute. Anyone who's become a parent, that event, it changed your life. There's all these events, and they're one moment at a time. And that's how we live. One day at a time, 1 hour at a time, one moment, and one breath at a time. And why make it so small? Well, that one breath that you're taking is not your breath. You have the body, but where did that breath come from? That's the divine life in you expressing in, as, and through you, making you the divine and beautiful and unique person that you are. And it's 2026, so let's just show the world who we are, and let's just strut our stuff as best as we can strut our stuff. I waddle my stuff, but you know what? I still get from A to B at whatever speed I'm going. If you want to beat me, go ahead. But I'm not stopping. So what's stopping you? What is it you want to do? This living is so precious, and I have different ways I learn things. I really like to observe things. And I had an experience, and We all have our little delights that, oh boy, this is just makes your heart sing. Well, I've had an experience that really made my heart sing. And it's nature. It speaks to me. It doesn't say, hey, lady, come over here. Have I got something to tell you? No. I just observe and it speaks to my heart. And when it speaks to my heart, I see life, not just in that whatever nature spoke to me, but as all encompassing truths. So let's get down to this bird that talked to me, okay? I'm coming from I talk a lot about a trolley we go to and eat. Well, Sweetie had had his bacon and eggs and all of the hullabaloo he needs. So we're coming out and I see a raven on the field. As you come out, there's a field where you turn. And here's this raven. And it had just started to warm up. And that raven, she was just soaring and soaring. And I thought, oh, look at the fun. It's enjoying it. And then it totally went on its back and then came right back over. It did a somersault and then just kept going. And I had read about that, but I had never, ever in my life seen it. And there right before my eyes, to me, was a gift. I saw the somersault, but it was a freedom of allowing himself to have fun, allowing himself to do a maneuver that he doesn't normally done, feeling the freedom to be. And that's part of our life. Go out, reach out, feel the freedom. And where are the messages for us? We went out on New Year's. Did anyone go out New Year's Eve? A few of us. Did anyone stay home and celebrate with yourself or friends? And we all survived, and here we are. Well, we took our grandson out, our youngest one. The other ones went out to their things, so we took him to a restaurant, and I won't give the name of the restaurant, but they recently renovated. And it was literally packed. We were there by 5 o'clock, and there was lineups, and so we finally get to our chair, and they say, here you go. Now I'm going to have to stand for this, because it wasn't just normal. It wasn't just, let's sit down and eat chair. Why would I want to sit at something as boring as that? No. They bring us to the chair, and it's newly renovated. And we're in the bar part, right? Here's the bar here. Okay. We get up to it. Oh, and I look at it. Here's the table. And I look at it, and no, I didn't have a ladder. They didn't have, you didn't step up on anything. This is cowboy style. You got to have a hunk of wood there. The hunk of wood's about this tall. And then everybody's I say to the waitress, this cute little young girl, I said, look, I don't think I can get up on this. I'm 4'8". She's kind of like, well, this is the last table, lady. She didn't say it. And so here is my family looking at me, and my little grandson with his little, oh, Granny, I love you. You're just a miracle, Granny, look in his eye. And I'm thinking, I can't disappoint this little guy. So I did what I did. I leaned over, and I crawled, and I climbed, and I forgot myself and did a belly flop and pulled myself all the way onto the end of that table and sat up and got there and got my cane in my knees and held it up because there's nothing to hang it on. And after all of that, here's the table and it joins right up to the bar, and I just went and I put my arm on the bar and I and there you go. So we all have our challenges. And how are we going to face them? Yeah. Yeah. Well, this was just too much fun. And with that little Grant, well, he's not little, he's about 6 foot now, but. But you know, just seeing what is it you have to do? What is it you have to go forward with? So, our life has gone on, and we look through what we've done in the past year, and we look at what we're going to do in the future. And if there's anything you look at in the past and you're thinking, no, this wasn't good, this wasn't good, this wasn't good, well, stop it right now. Because you think of a mosaic. A mosaic, what's a mosaic? You see beautiful mosaics all over the place. They're just a bunch of little chunks of broken pieces all put together, glued together to make this beautiful mosaic art form. We are all beautiful mosaics of our past experience. So whatever has happened or will happen is making you who you are today. And who are you today? You are the divine mind in, as, and through a human form. That's the beauty of who you are. You see, every moment has a starting point, a root of conception. So what is it? What is your root of conception? What is it you want to start? It's a whole brand new year. I know it's just one day after another, but we celebrate it as something so new, so wonderful. So what seeds do you want to plant? What seed's already in there waiting to come out? Why don't you let it start to come forth? Because you have the power in you to do this. And then one of the questions we always have to ask ourselves, are we part of the solution, or are we part of the problem of stopping ourselves from going forward? Well, you know what? If I can get up and crawl and sit down, we can all, at our own pace, do what we need to do because we need to be here. We need to do our journey because we each make such an incredible difference in the world. Think of what you want. Think of what journey you want to go on. We were at a coffee shop and I wasn't really listening to the guys sitting over here, but it was intriguing, and I'm trying to. I have my books. I'm taught, writing up what I think I'm going to talk about, and then bless these two young fellows that sat right here. I really learned something. They were two hockey people. The one was like a scout or something. I'm not quite sure. A scout or an agent or something like that. And the other was a young fellow who was in AAA. And he was talking about the different teams. And he said to this young fellow, asking him all about this, all about that, fill in this form, and he says, oh, I need you to do a self-evaluation. And I thought, self-evaluation? I remember when I worked and you'd have to write a big self-evaluation, and then you'd have to go like, how good do you think you are? What's your strongest suit? What's your weakest suit? What do you remember was the worst day that you went to work last year? Like it was all of this, and then you had to go present it in front of like 3 people. That was a self-evaluation. Bless those people that ask those questions, because I found it a little bit intimidating. Well, you know what? Why don't we do a self-evaluation, but a gentler one, knowing what can I do? What have I done? What are my strengths? People are always telling you your strengths, the things you're good at, and you think, that's your strength. What do I need to work on? And only you have written this down, so if you haven't met whatever goals you want, you can move on, or you can say, guess what, I'm going to go a whole different way, because this is 2026, and I am going to live my life, and my life is the life of the divine working in, as and through me, and whatever I need is there for me. When I need it, I just have to, what's the question? I just have to ask. Ask. In your mind, I know. No, ask and know. There is one mind, that is my mind now. That mind is the mind of God, or divine mind, universal mind, whatever your word is. And I know, and I declare that I now have, here comes the big thing, the asking, whatever it is, health, or prosperity, whatever. You're the one who's writing your story, your future. One breath at a time, one moment at a time, one thought at a time. Listening to this self-evaluation, and I'm listening, and in my mind I got a symbol. And that symbol was a circle. And it just came. I don't normally think circles, but it came, and I got thinking, you know what? We all have our own circle of life, our own circle. And we draw our life as big as we want, or as small as we want. And some of us, our circle might be perfect. And some of us, we might have a few wobbles or whatever along the way. But it's our journey, our circle of life. And thank God we're living our circle of life. Feel the passion. I invite you now, feel the passion of who you are. Feel it. Maybe I'll even do a little bit of a meditation. Just peace, quiet, calm, peace, calm, peace, calm, know. Within you, it's the gift of life. Know that within you, it's the strength to be and to live your life. for who you are. Know that as you ask, ye receive. For it is the divine that works. Feel that divine energy in you. Feel that strength, that power, and that wonder of who you are. Feel it. Claim it. And know it. And when you want, you may open your eyes. Do you feel within you now your connection, the power within you, the journey and your importance? That's what you're bringing into 2026. And our life does change constantly because we change. And every once in a while, we have a little reminder that comes to us. And I remember, it's like the fellow skating, and this reminded me of this story too. But I was going to the college, Red Deer College, and a friend and I were walking. It was winter like now. We're walking along the creek bed, and we're walking along, and we see a beaver dam. Oh, look at the beaver dam, and off we go. We keep going. And it's getting later and later. We come back, and we're marching along. And oh yeah, here comes a beaver dam. We know where we are. Well, guess what happens by a beaver dam? You don't walk on the water by the beaver dam. We both fell right in that creek. And we both got soaking wet. We had to walk home in our blue jeans, getting ice and snow. We just froze to death. But the thing is, every once in a while, there's that little bit of ice that isn't quite as strong as we thought it was. And we fall down. But you know what? If you get up, you just get up. If you're freezing, you're freezing. But if you stand there and freeze, well, you know what happens then. Not good. You just keep going, one step at a time. And that's who we are, to keep going one step at a time, one moment at a time. Because who are we to say that every moment we're here alive, we are not blessing someone else by us representing the divine through us? Never underestimate the importance of your life, one moment at a time. You know, I can worry. Well, I've told you that a gazillion times, but you know, you'd think that this would realize, but I guess it's just part of the journey of the thing, the way I'm thinking. And I get to correct it all the time. But seeing that raven, you know, there it is. It's teaching me. Oh, for heaven's sake, get over yourself. Just go and enjoy. And there you go. There you go. There you go. Yeah. Absolutely. One day at a time, one moment at a time, and one person at a time. Everyone blesses us that we meet in their own way. Because we see the divine in them, we connect with the divine in them. We may not always agree with whatever they're saying coming out of their mouth. Does not mean that the God essence is in, as, and through them. The Science of Mind says, as we bring ourselves to a greater vision, we introduce a greater concept and thereby demonstrate more into our experience. So do you have a greater vision? Or is it that little seed that's just saying, hey, here I am, look at me? Well, why not give it a little bit of attention, a little bit of watering it with your love or your knowledge or your reading? There are so many intelligent people in here. There are so many wonderful people in here. You express and you know and you do. Well, how about letting yourself shine forward? After all, it is 2026. So just think about it. Is there anything that you weren't allowed to do? You know, you were told, don't do that. Guess what? You can do it now. There's freedom in 2026. Be yourself. The divine is that wonderful voice within the creator of the all. How about starting to meditate this year if you haven't? And guess what? You don't have to have anybody with you to meditate. You just know. You just be. Have some quiet time. Listen to some music. And just think, I am beautiful. Life is good. Whatever you want to use, think of it. And just think. Peace. Quiet. Calm. Knowing I am good. Peace, quiet, knowing I have strength. You are affirming through yourself your connection with the divine, universal essence in, as, and through all things that ever have been, is now, and always will be, the universal mind. And that is who we are. Some of us are short, some of us are tall. Doesn't really matter the form. It is the truth of who we are. So what is it we need in 2026? 3-letter word, ask. And then believe. And then you receive. And this is exactly what is taught through the science of mind. Through the teachings, many teachings throughout the world, is ask, believe, receive. So be bold and live your life. Dr. Holmes, who wrote The Science of Mind, says, you are the person. Here is the place. Today is the time. This is the moment. So I challenge you to know that you are the person. Here is the place. Today's the time. This is the moment. And I know for you and I know for me that we embrace our unique life and we freely share with others and become who we truly are. And so it is.